ton of new people to the channel. We keep getting a bunch of new subscribers every single day, which is awesome. I appreciate the support. Love you guys for coming to hang out. If y'all have any questions about this car, or myself, or anybody, feel free to drop them in the comments, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. But yeah, she's still kind of a car. Hey kids, guess what? I remember the G7X, so no more horrible iPhone cam with some really crappy audio. So I'm super pumped about that. You guys can actually hear me, and I don't have to sit there for 20 minutes playing with audio levels and chopping up clips to make it sound half decent and coherent. We're off to go see the FC. We'll go talk about some aero, we'll go talk about the intercooler setup, and we will just go kind of assess what we got, see where we can put stuff, and go from there. Alright, I had to go grab my trusty tape measure because I can't find the one I had over here. Probably lost it, probably threw it away, but it's okay. So that's why you have multiple tape measures. So we gotta start thinking about this whole intercooler placement situation idea and figure out what we're gonna do. Obviously, I'm thinking about air to water. I'm thinking about front mount. But to do front mount, it's gonna be a lot more evasive than a typical front mount because we don't want it to block everything. So, be some bumper hacking. But we'll just start measuring and I'll show you guys some ideas. So I'm gonna try to do this with one hand. But an idea that we have is basically putting okay, well, screw the tape measure, but I'm thinking about putting the intercooler basically between these two front frame rails, and we could cut the bumper above our trusty bash bar here, mount the intercooler to our bash bar, and then to like this, or to these, to this. Somehow we can mount it up here, and then we can have intercooler here, and then we can make another little duct basically that'll come up and air will get through there. So that's one idea. The downfall of this idea is we're gonna have to cut a lot out of the bumper. So we would be cutting basically all of most likely this out and kind of going like that. So that's a possible idea. That would be very easy and simple, and then we can just run like charge pipe into here, charge pipe out, and then back up into the car. So that would be pretty easy to do, but that's option one. That's front mount idea one. So maybe that could work. Now for air to water time, we would get back down here, and then I'm thinking we could we'd probably put the air to water cooler somewhere in this vicinity, and then make another duct to get some clean air up into the car, or maybe put it closer down here. I'm not really sure, but basically the options are short, fat air to water heat exchanger, or short, long, kind of fat front mount. So front mount here, air to water somewhere under there. That's kind of what we're thinking. I think it could work out. I don't know, I gotta like ask the engineers because they're the smart people here, and I just kind of have ideas and they don't typically work, so I try them anyways. So now, I don't know if I'm the only one here, but I have a book. I write a lot of notes in this book. We've got a bunch of aero stuff that we got to-do lists. We have aero things. I always keep writing in notebooks because I forget things. I'm a very forgetful person. If I don't write it down, probably won't do it. So where I put a lot of my ideas, so I kind of keep track of what's going on. We have roughly, also draw a little diagram. So we have kind of the front end of our car, headlight, hood, aero catches. this is that little brace right there. And then we have a 24-inch span between the mounts for the bash bar, and then we have a 6.5-inch kind of distance from here to there, angled forward. So that could work for the front mount. Now onto the heat exchanger. I gotta figure that out. So the Mustang, we would use a Mustang heat exchanger. It is 24-inch by 8-inch by 2.5-inch. So let's measure that out, get some drawing done, and see if it works. Okay, so that's 26. So it's 26 when it's necked out. When we neck it down, it gets to about 24. So we'd have to be forward. So we got our little diagrams here. Not the greatest handwriting, but you know, it gets the job done. It helps me remember. I've got to go back and talk with Ty about both of these ideas. Let me know what you guys think. What do you think? Should we just run a big old front mount here, cut the bumper out, have it be chilling there? We can still get air in from our radiator and our oil cooler. Or we could even put the heat exchanger, or the Mustang heat exchanger for the air to water up here too. The problem is this Mustang core is 26 inches, or what is it? No. Oh, never mind. It is only 24 inches. So it would fit nicely between this and between this. But the downfall is it is 8 inches tall, which is gonna put it almost to our ceiling here. So that is gonna completely block our little radiator boy off. And that's not the best idea. So my original idea is probably scrapped for that, but we could still do it. We just could put it here. We could put it in the back. I was talking to my old roommate Cowan. He's from Thailand, left America after he graduated, went back to Thailand. Now he is off doing some escapades out in the UK, but he's still racing cars. He's got a pretty dope little IS200 with a F20C in it and ITBs. So he's doing a lot of wheel-to-wheel endurance racing out in Thailand, which is really cool. But I was talking to him because he's also an engineer, and he suggested running the heat exchanger in the back. So that's an idea now. I just got to figure out how to make that happen. I mean, it would be sick. We could incorporate it into the diffuser, possibly. I thought of my friend David Mazet with the Formula 7. The four-rotor big turbo Johnny, the black one that we saw at Grid Life. And he actually runs, I believe, his heat exchanger for the FD in the license plate area. And he uses some ducts in the hatch to cool it, or to get some airflow to it. So that's an idea. We would have to get rid of the glass hatch, which is okay because I've been considering doing that for a hot minute anyways. Basically do an Lexan 1, and then we could do some NACA ducts in the hatch and some tube to funnel it through the cooler. So that's a possibility, but I gotta weigh out my options here. Or we could put it in the diffuser, but I'm kind of worried it being in the diffuser because it can get hurt there, and we don't want to smash a hole into our nice heat exchanger and have that thing go leaking everywhere. So you know, the downfall of the 4 arrow catches is taking your hood off sucks. So I don't take it off too much by myself, just because I hate putting it back on. Well, let's come back here. The hatch of everything. So we got a lot of stuff back here, but we got to pull some things out and do some measurements. why you write stuff down, so you can go back and look. So here is a lot of our math and stuff for the tank size and volume. So the options that we're considering, so these are pre-made. We can buy them right now for pretty cheap off eBay. 2.5 and a 5 gallon. Mikey, aka Pineapple, aka one of my favorite human beings in the world, said we should run between a 3 and 4 gallon tank. So we're kind of in the middle of that, but we'll measure for both the 2.5 and the 5 gallon to just see where we're at. So roughly if we do the 5 gallon, it's 12 by 12, so we go from about here to about there, and about here to about there. So kinda doesn't fit well, but the 2.5, which is 8 1/4 and then 8 by 10, that would fit perfectly in this little area right here. 10 inches isn't too tall either. We could put it there. We could definitely integrate a heat exchanger into the diffuser and in the rear of the car. I don't think that would be incredibly hard. So the other thing I was going to do was mock up our new alternator. I've had this 130 amp Ford unit chilling for a while and just realized it doesn't fit on the alternator bracket because that's a big Johnny bar thing, and then this one has a gap, so didn't work out too well. So now I gotta figure out what the plan is for this whole alternator situation, because we're gonna need a bigger alt, because I've always had electrical voltage problems, aka they're too low. So drop in the comments what I need to do about this. I guess I could find somebody to rebuild that and like custom wind it to whatever amps we want. But yeah, if you guys have any ideas, let me know. I would love to use that. It would be nice to use that if we can. Tell me how to use that, and we'll go from there. So looks like you are going back on here. I think we're done for being here today. Now it's just time to go back and start to think of some decisions for intercooler placement and lots of those things. So yeah, let's go back to the house. We'll get some paper, start drawing, start working, talk about some other things. Let's talk about aero. So I think later today we'll have Ty will show you guys the design for the wing and we'll talk about it. But let's talk about aero, let's talk about learning, let's talk about books. So I don't know how many of you guys actually read books. Books are very good. I personally hated reading in high school, but that was also because I wasn't reading things I was interested in. So let me show you this. Is a very important book that was thrown at me by a grumpy old man, aka Steve Hampton, who is an old school rotary builder from a long time ago. He threw this book at me. Book on competition car downforce. So this book is a super fast read. It was really good. It's not crazy advanced mathematic wise. The first 3 chapters or so are very math heavy. Talks about a lot of like the equations that you need to calculate your downforce, all that kind of stuff. The forces, we got like graphs and fun pictures and stuff. But it's a very good practical guide that kind of, I guess, helps get your feet wet in downforce. And the cool part is it does have a section on building your own wings, building your own splitters, building all your own aero components. So basically kind of breaks it down and shows you that you can do this stuff and you don't have to have a wind tunnel. You don't have to have all these fancy machines. You can just use some wood, some metal in your hands and make some stuff. So that's what I really liked about the book. I honestly picked it up because we started messing, Ty started messing with the new upright design, and then we got the new wing element, which I need to go get and show you guys. But basically I just wanted to read it just so I can learn and better answer questions for you guys, as a lot of the times I send y'all's questions to Ty to get answers from. And if you guys are readers and have books you like to read for building cars or doing whatever, driving, building, anything car related, drop in the comments. I would like to know. I'd like to read some more, so looking for some more books to pick up. So drop those, and yeah, that's about it for, I guess, this video. We will come back and talk to y'all later about the wing design with Ty whenever he's got time to actually sit down and talk with me about it. So there's that. Thanks, guys. Bye, y'all.